not concerned about the truth of Bella. I'm concerned about the rest of the world. That makes sense? Yes. Our economy is strong as hell.
We made the White Lives Matter tees, and then when I put up the tweet, the DEF CON tweet, now he ain't releasing the tee because he's Jewish. And I'm like, see, this is my exact point that I'm making.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, the BBs? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
And I'm Jay Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. How you doing, Jay?
I am doing wonderful.
You're looking
absolutely
wonderful.
Fantastic.
You've been working out?
I have been. And I had my favorite breakfast this morning. It's
ass?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
My favorite is ass cream. Delicious. As always, Habibis, this is a power hour. So every time we say the buzzwords, I say essentially, Jay says 100%. You got to take a drink. Of course, there are other rules, like Jay going on a rant, or I go and one of us goes in and out of focus, which doesn't happen nearly as much anymore, but it did happen a lot.
It used to until you upgraded your camera.
Right? It's working much better.
Whenever we boomer some shit, that's
when we boomer
absolutely
something. Yeah,
when
that's definitely a time to take a drink. But yes, this is a show where we get drunk and talk about the news because all the news that's happening in the year of Allah 2022 has been in the year of Allah, October.
Yes,
we are two degenerates who talk about how degenerate about the degeneracy of society. So this is the pit of degeneracy. If you like our stuff, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. As always, if you want to support us, go ahead and check out our locals community, habibibros.locals.com. I got a link in the description. But yeah, Jay, this has been a wild one because I had this clip. I don't know if Spencer has this clip. But basically the Republican Party in the midterm election in the year of Allah 2022, they have a specific agenda supposedly after the GOP takes the House. And I'm hoping our producer Spencer has this clip because I was blocked by the person who posted this. But this is Dave Schweikert, a Republican congressman who, before we play this clip, just give you a little context here. This keep it up. Jesus Christ, Spencer, I'm going to fire the shit out of you. You know, every time I try to fire Spencer or one of us fire Spencer, we got to drink. I think that's fair.
I do too.
So Dave Schweikert, who's a Republican from Arizona's 6th congressional caucus, 6th congressional district, member of the Freedom Caucus, was supposedly caught on the left-wing alternative. I wouldn't even call it alternative. They're a left-wing Project Veritas called Undercurrent. Like somehow that is like meeting the bar of journalism. But let's watch this little clip here, and we don't have to watch the full thing, but just a little live reaction here. Let's just watch it.
I don't want to talk, but I did want to ask you one question. So my husband and his brother-in-law was up at the Capitol on January 6th, and all these things are doing to these freedom fighters that are like in the jail in DC. I think it's terrible, and I'm just hoping you guys are going to fight for them to get pardoned.
We need to win the White House.
So that can happen, that we can fight.
If we have the White House, we can do that, but not till we win the White House.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for everything you're doing.
The FBI and the Washington, the number one thing to do there is income this is actually what you want Jim Jordan on oversight. Is every one of those documents from the FBI goes to his committee.
And then we're going to hold him accountable.
You can expose it to the public what's really going on.
Are we going to be able to defund the FBI?
You don't want to defund them, you want to wake them up. It's different.
But
You want to be able to ship out anyone that's political, because you're not going to be able to defund them.
you can defund the witch hunts, the investigations.
Exactly. You defund the liars, or you strip how they spend their money.
Can you like impeach Chris Ray? Can you get him gone?
Sure.
Yeah, so I am pro-life.
Actually, I have a couple other ones I want to impeach first. Mayorkas.
And he's going to try to paint horns in the tail. I mean, you've seen the commercials.
Chris Ray's like number 3 for me.
So Mayorkas and then who?
The Secretary of State.
He's an ultra
He's Secretary of State right now?
Yeah, because if you see what they're doing with this government, he is we're popping up communist socialist governments around the world and taking away American values around the world. So
he's the extremist in this discussion.
Is this supposed to be some kind of like gotcha video or something?
That's exactly what it's supposed to be.
Are we supposed to be like pearl clutching or some shit right now over what he's saying?
You're doing Lord's work, you really are.
He's saying this all while holding the baby.
there's a sense of humor.
Right.
I got to think about it every day.
What is this person who's filming it thinking that she got this in this?
Spencer, bring up the video again, but bring up the tweet from that gives the description, because this like paints it in a better light, I feel. So Scott Dorkin. It's Scott fucking Dorkin.
Of course.
Jesus Christ. Scott Dorkin.
Fuck.
Scott Dorkin of the Dem Coalition. Oh, we got Adam Kriegler in the chat. What's up, Habibi? Over on Rumble. Scott Dorkin basically saying that this is he says, let's make this viral. This is what this is not just every Republican voter and what they want the Republican majority to do after the midterm election. This is what even independent voters, and even I'm sure some Democrats who feel completely betrayed by how these last 2 years have gone. Right. Jay, do I think the Republicans have the balls to do that? That's an entirely different story.
That's a different story.
I don't think they have the balls. But they're basically that's the line that they supposedly if they haven't run on that line, they should just lean into it and embrace it.
Yeah, we don't have the balls to do what we say we're going to do, but we're going to say we're going to do them without
essentially
100%. God damn it. But there has been nothing that he said there that hasn't been based. Like everything he's saying there, I would like to see defund the FBI. Yeah. Let's fucking tear them apart. I am totally down. Fucking hold these people accountable and impeach them. I am totally down. Do it. I don't give a shit.
What has the FBI been good for, really, Jay? All they do is entrap
hunting down grandmothers who post shit on Facebook.
That they set up kidnapping operations of Democratic governors in the state of Michigan. They entrap Muslims and try to basically radicalize them to become terrorists. And just the fact that they were founded on trying to basically find and out subversive behaviors, starting off with communists and during the Red Scare, during the Russian Revolution. I mean, it's all a long time coming. This is one of those things, Jay, though, that when you see this, you're like, I don't see what the gotcha here is. They're actually there's no gotcha.
There is no gotcha. And it's really funny because they always do this too. They overplay some shit, or they overplay, Trump said the most outrageous thing ever and blah, blah, blah. And then you hear it and you're like, it's really not that bad.
Well, not even that. It's just, hey, remember when they tried to say that Trump was calling immigrants animals? Yeah. And they played that out of context clip. And the clip was literally him saying how like MS-13 and these drug cartels who are trafficking humans and trafficking drugs into the country, they're not people, they're animals. And everybody and all the corporate media took that and ran with it and saying that he was talking about all immigrants.
No, they even fucking defended and tried to defend MS-13. They tried to go in and defend MS-13 over these comments and shit. Like it was absolutely fucking horrendous. And they want to sit down and pretend like they were being some sort of truthful freedom fighters throughout the whole fucking thing. It's just, it's just insane. It's insane how crazy they are to try and make everyone who's out here who sees what's going on and try to make them all Alex Jones.
Oh, totally. For those of the BBs who are already supporting us on Locals, we got a live chat currently. I'm monitoring it because Jay seems to already be quitting the show. I don't know why. And bold move. Interesting move. I respect it, honestly. Usually we come late, and this time, we definitely are leaving early this time. I'm glad to see that Jay is just deciding to finally be on the show. You good, Jay?
I am now.
Oh, okay. He's getting that's beautiful. So happy birthday to Paul Pierce, who apparently is a confirmed Habibi. Can I show
Oh yeah, I just retweeted it.
let's go live to there it is. Paul Pierce, always a Habibi, forever in our hearts, even though he's still alive. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Habibi. Love it. Gotta love it. Man.
Nothing like
now we're going to talk about morality for the next hour after showing that.
Oh yeah, because we are the shining examples of morality.
So with that debate, with that particular strategy that the Republicans, I guess behind the scenes are going after, there've been a lot of different narratives happening as we approach the 2022 midterms, happening on November 8th. We're just under, was it 3 weeks away? Under 2 weeks away? Jay,
no, it's
help me with time.
Okay, we're in October 19th right now. Under
3 weeks.
Okay, there
less
you
than
go.
3 weeks.
Every month has how many weeks in them?
Shut the fuck up, Jay. I can do
how
math.
many days are in a month? How many days are in a week?
69. 6 to 9. That's 6 to 9 days, right, Jay? 6 to 9 days.
100%.
Essentially. All right. So there are strategists out there, Democratic strategists, who feel that Democrats actually peaked too early because they thought all of the focus that they're running on was going to be on overturning Roe v. Wade. And well, for the Democrats who really care about Roe v. Wade, certainly that's been the focus. But literally no one else in the country cares about it. It's not even in the top 5 issues that Americans are voting on in 2022. You got inflation, economy, and all those two are basically the same. Gas prices. What else, Jay? Probably all the taxpayer money, all the
gas prices, rising fucking interest rates where you can't even buy a fucking house anymore. Fucking people losing their money on the houses that they have. There's so many issues that are going on right now that cause Americans to be more energized at the voting booth than fucking abortion. And do you have that clip of Stacey Abrams, what she was talking about with abortion?
About reducing inflation. Let's Spencer, can you find that? While Spencer's finding that, basically, as I continue on, all the issues that Democrats think the country cares about, they think this country is Rovember. What a time. Yeah, they think it's going to be Rovember. They think that they're going to restore Roe. They think that Republicans they can just run on January 6th and Roe v. Wade being overturned in order. Like that riot lasted what, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours maybe? and they're still thinking that that's going to be enough to give them the upper hand. And Spencer's asking me which one. It's Stacey Abrams talking about abortion at the debate. That's all you needed to look for.
Come on.
All right, I'm gonna have to fire.
Well, not only that, also you can see it on the RNC account where she was talking about it on how to fight inflation on I think it was NBC, and basically she was talking about how people who are trying to get rid of abortion are going to add to it. Yeah, here it is.
Oh, it was the debate. It wasn't the debate.
Running for governor of Georgia, I would assume, maybe incorrectly, but while abortion is an issue, it nowhere reaches the level of interest of voters in terms of the cost of gas, food, bread, milk, things like that. What can a governor, what could you do as governor to alleviate the concerns of Georgia voters about those livability, daily, hourly issues that they're confronted with?
But let's be clear. Having children is why you're worried about your price for gas. It's why
What the fuck?
Cost. For women, this is not a reductive issue. You can't divorce being forced to carry an unwanted pregnancy from the economic realities of having a child. And so it's important for us to have both and conversations. We don't have the luxury of reducing it or separating them out, but we also have to talk about what a governor can do. A governor can address housing prices. A governor can address the cost of education. A governor can put money into the pockets of everyday hardworking Georgians instead
More
of giving
taxes.
The wealthy. That's what I talk about on the trail, and that's what's resonating. But let's not pretend that women, half the population, especially those of childbearing age, they understand that having a child is absolutely an economic issue. It is only politicians who see it as simply another cultural conversation. It is a real biological and economic imperative conversation that women need to have.
Ms. Abrams, this is Eddie Glaude.
All right, I don't give a shit about the rest of the answer. Basically, what she's honing in on is the fact that it's your fault. It's your fault, Jay, for having too many illegitimate babies, which is true. You have we don't even know how many.
I know
with how many moms.
But I follow in the footsteps of my dad, Neville, who's had probably like 69 children, including myself, and abandoned them all. So that's the African American side of me. That's what I do.
So what you're saying is that because you've had so many children, that's why inflation is the way it is, right?
Well, especially for women, because I don't pay child support either.
That's a double whammy right there.
It absolutely is. But
Jay, hold on. City boys up. City boys.
And but it's hilarious that implying that children are having children or being able to abort your child is going to help with inflation, or help with gas prices, or help with bread prices, or help with any of these prices that are going skyrocketing and being a damper on people who already have fucking children. This is not he wasn't asking about people who are thinking about having children or people who are going to have children. He's talking about everyday Georgians right the fuck now. And it's like having kids. If you have too many kids, of course you're going to worry about prices. That's not a right answer. That's not the right answer to fight prices. We want to fight prices. We want to reduce costs on everyday American people, not give them non-answers on how to fight the rising costs. Not having children or having children does nothing to decrease or increase the price of gas or fucking bread at the grocery store.
Josh and on local says, quote, "I have no answer, so we'll bullshit and try to pivot to abortion." That's all they got. They really have no answer. It is so, at this point, they're not even trying to pretend. It's not about, at this point, there may have been some concern that the Republicans didn't have a strategy of, I was worried that Republicans didn't have a strategy. The strategy was just try to not be as dumb as Democrats. and it was like the strategy was Democrats don't be retarded challenge, and Democrats are like challenge accepted, and they immediately fail.
No, absolutely. I mean, the only strategy that you need going into the midterms is talking about what you're going to do in order to help everyday Americans save money, in order to help them live a comfortable lifestyle for them and their children and their families. That is the only strategy you're supposed to have here, not what pronouns you can use or like what pronouns you can be teaching in school or wanting to cut children's dicks off or wanting to make sure that you can abort a child even after they're 4 years old. Like none of that is actually going to the concerns of what the majority of Americans are talking about or wanting to see happen after the midterms.
Yeah, I think the craziest thing of all of this is that Democrats are trying to pretend like the sky isn't falling. I mean, just take John Fetterman, for example, whose brain is literally turned into mush. He can't even comprehend people's auditory responses, so he has to read them through a teleprompter on the computer. And the supposedly John Fetterman's doctor, the Fetterman who's running for Senate against Dr. Oz in Pennsylvania, his updated medical report has said that his communication is the report says Fetterman is recovering well from his stroke and his health has continued to improve, and he has no work restrictions and can work full duty in public office. The report also stated Fetterman spoke intelligently without cognitive deficits. And then the doctor noted that Fetterman is still exhibiting symptoms of an auditory processing disorder that can come across as a hearing difficulty, saying his communication is slightly improved compared to his first visit, assisted by speech therapy, which he has attended on a regular basis since the stroke, end quote. I think it's important here to also note that according to our producer, Spencer, this guy's an actual Fetterman supporter, Dr. Clifford Chen. Let's look this guy up real quick. Clifford.
Yeah, supposedly he donated to his campaign, and he's donated to Democrat campaigns throughout the.
All right, so this guy has every incentive to want to make sure Fetterman wins, and
right,
probably die in office, right?
After like three weeks, but the thing, especially with that growth you saw in his neck and shit, but
you mean his head?
His second head or third, but what's it called? If this was happening to like a Republican or to Trump or anybody else, it would be front page news that the doctor who released the okay is actually a complete supporter of the campaign.
So Chen has given tens of thousands of dollars over the years to Democratic candidates and party committees. He contributed $1,330 to Fetterman's campaign, including a $500 donation in June 2021 before he became Fetterman's doctor. So Fetterman looked for a yes man, and he got it in Dr. Chen.
And it's amazing that we're not seeing this like being investigated further or actually brought up in any of the news. All you see are fucking reporters just parroting whatever it is that Fetterman releases. That's it.
Well, it's also wild about.
Have we seen the medical records themselves? Has any of the reporters who are taking these words as fucking facts seen any medical report whatsoever?
This is the medical record, Jay. Trust me, bro. Just trust me, bro.
I'm a doctor. Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
And they're not even demanding it either. They're not even asking for it or anything. They're just parroting like good fucking donkeys that they are on whatever the Fetterman's campaign is telling them to do. And not only that, they took it upon themselves to write articles saying that talking about his disability is ableist or discriminatory or any of this type of shit. We even had this stupid fucking one of these reporters on New York Times. She came out and she was talking about like, I can feel for him as a person with a hearing impairment. I could feel for him. And I tweeted to her, I was like, you're an idiot. And then I was like, sorry. And then in all caps, you're an idiot. So she could hear it.
Oh man, that's so. Everything about this is just going upside down. Look, even Herschel Walker is looking like a formidable candidate compared to
Right.
Raphael Warnock. Warnock doesn't even have a response to why the economy is so bad. All he says is we're still in the throes of a pandemic. That's why you can't use the excuse that we're in a pandemic anymore. People are getting COVID. The people aren't dying of COVID like they were 2 years ago. This is not, or even a year ago. This is not happening like that.
No, it's not. And the thing is that the policies they put in place over COVID and pushed for are the reasons why we're in this fucking mess to begin with. And the way that they dragged them out as long as they did, and putting people out of work and closing down businesses and hurting the learning abilities of kids. They put these policies in place, and they're still trying to hold on to this fear of COVID that their retarded voters could have. It makes no sense. It's not going to help the people in the now and their near-term future to be able to pay mortgages, to be able to pay their electric bills and everything. I mean, everything is going to start to come back and restarting slowly, that you have to pay the shit that you didn't pay for throughout the pandemic because it was on hold. And dude, what do they think is going to happen? We're going to have so many foreclosures happening. We're going to have a fucking flood of houses coming into.
Not to mention that interest rate isn't coming down anytime soon.
No, not at all.
The way it is, no one's buying. No one's going to buy a house. Anyone who's trying to sell a house now, best of luck to you. If you can find someone, if you could find someone with enough money is willing to spend money on your house,
more power to you. I mean, because the thing is, if you bought a house like a year ago, if you bought a house a year ago for 700,000 at a fucking 3% interest rate, you're paying somewhere around 2,500 for a month for the mortgage. Now try to sell that house again at a 7.5 and see who's going to want to pay 5,500 a month for the house. The prices are getting so insane that even a 2-income household is not going to be able to afford those monthly mortgage payments, especially here in California where the prices are so fucking outrageous. You are going to pay the same amount now for a $360,000 house as you would a year ago for a $730,000 house.
It's insane. We're gonna look back on this time and wonder how we let this shit happen for so long, and how we look at this point when people are so desperate, and the desperation for a lot of people is quite palpable. They have no other alternatives. They really don't, and I have a feeling, given everything we've seen now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's. If there's a second American Revolution, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, honestly, there really could be. The reason why you see people in countries like India or fucking Sri Lanka or like Venezuela or all of these third world countries is because of prices for everyday families to be able to work and survive. And we're getting to a point where people are just going to break. People are not going to be able to take their children to school. They're not going to be able to afford milk for their households. And instead of the journalistic industry actually having some sort of fucking humanity, they go after people who say that they have to buy 12 gallons a week or a month for their kids of milk. And instead of sympathizing with them, they attack these people as if that they're the fucking most dumbass fucking white Nazi whatevers that they can think of. They have no sympathy. They don't know how to show empathy because they live in these fucking cities that are run by the worst fucking politicians we have.
Not just the worst, but also like they think they know better than us. They think they're more, moral superiors to us. And they think they know what's best for us. And the fact of the matter is, Jay, unless they are encouraging or nationalizing or mandating that we all, at least everyone of age, that ass eating is like the national sport. I don't want to hear it.
No, that's going to be our 2024 campaign. Well, actually, I'm not going to be able to run in 2024 yet. I'm still too young. No, I'll be just of age. Isn't it 36? Yeah. 36 is the
35,
age when you
35.
35. Okay.
Yeah,
we can do it.
Yeah, I'm officially eligible to run, if I hate myself enough, as of this year, because I turned 35. But look, Jay, everything that we've seen with the midterms, it almost seems like a foregone conclusion that Republicans are going to win, or at least take back the House, probably get the Senate. I do think there are going to be some candidates that probably are going to have a little bit of a tougher time. That is, of course, if Democrats don't steal the election, which they have been accused of doing in 2020. Because, oh, this is good. Second American Revolution. Siraj been hanging with Tim Pool. I literally make jokes all the time. Every time Tim Pool talks about Civil War, it's just so good. I'm talking about an American Revolution, not a Civil War. Okay,
there's a difference.
There's a difference. Okay, I hope every time I mention the Second American Revolution, we drink to it.
Yeah, we should.
But if Tim Pool's lane is Civil War, mine is the Second American Revolution. So, you know, they're basically the same, right, Jay?
Oh, absolutely. Well, it depends on, they are going to be the same because
eventually, essentially,
who's going to do the revolution? What states are going to be doing the revolution, and who's going to be doing the revolution? And it's going to be against.
Which states are going to be doing?
Think California is probably going to be the first one to have a revolution within California.
You know which state is going to be leading the charge? You know which state?
Tell me.
South Carolina.
Allahu Akbar.
All because they're actually the leading. They're leaders of the caliphate, the Muslim caliphate.
Absolutely. I mean, their flag really does look like a Muslim country's flag.
It is most good. I think if South Carolina, sir, if they are going to stage uprising and Second American Revolution, I hope they do it soon, sir. I can't take this shit.
No, I mean, the reason why I would say like California would have a revolution, or these like deep blue states that are going to have a revolution, is because these are the states where families are hurting the most. These are the states I literally drive. When I go out and I drive around the city or I drive around California, I think to myself, how the fuck are these people affording even filling up their tanks of gas? Like I fill my tank of gas, and I don't even drive that big of a car. But I have like a 15-gallon car, and every other week I'm spending anywhere between $100 to $120 to fill up my tank. How the fuck are other people able to do this?
Beats the hell out of me, Habibi.
It makes no sense to me. And you drive around LA and stuff, and it's the same thing with New York. You have like 8 people living in a 1-bedroom apartment so they can afford it. It's fucking insane.
Hey, are you living with 7 other dudes? Are you guys just doing an elephant? Are you guys just elephant walking every night?
Absolutely.
If you don't know what elephant walking is, just Google that. And also make sure you're on incognito mode. And that there's no one around you.
I got 5 guys.
I'm sure you're elephant walking with 5 guys?
5 guys.
So you're on the couch and you have 5 guys behind you?
Yes.
Honestly,
how do you think I afford living in an apartment by myself in California?
Jay, I gotta hand it to you.
I work it.
You work that ass.
I work it, baby.
All right, what else we got going on? Oh, this is an interesting story because this is, kind of ties in with the election. The Tampa Bay Times published this story, and I want you to see exactly what's going on here. Maybe Spencer can play it so we can react to it that way. I can't be the producer the entire time, but basically, the Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida launched an Office of Election Crimes and Security, and basically the Tampa Bay Times released all of this footage of police detaining people who voted in the 2020 election, and these weren't people who were just convicted felons. These were people who were specifically convicted felons for murder, or they're sex offenders. Okay, so let's just play this video.
Apparently, I guess you have a warrant.
For what?
I'm not
It's
sure.
for voter stuff, man.
For voters.
It's what it is. I think the agents with FDLE talked to you last week about some voter fraud, voter stuff when you weren't supposed to be voting, maybe.
I didn't.
So
What are they talking about?
that's
man?
what we're not the case agents, but what you got to do, they have reduced your bond quite a bit. It's 2 felony charges for voter fraud, but they've reduced it to $500 bonds. So it's $1,000 total.
Oh my God, man! What?
So, yes, sir. So unfortunately, right now we're gonna have to take you to jail.
Wow, man! Why are they doing this to me? That's what you're getting. I didn't do nothing to nobody, man. Voter fraud. What is voter fraud?
Voting when you're not supposed to, sir, is what our understanding of the law is. Because of your sex offender status, you're not supposed to be voting.
Nobody. What they got? I don't know this. Voter fraud.
Let's walk over to my car,
Why is
okay?
y'all doing this now and this happened years ago?
I don't know. I have no idea, man.
This is crazy, man.
Yes, sir. We're going to go over to the hood of my car, and I got to search you, okay?
What is wrong with this state, man? What are you talking about? Voter fraud.
So one of those arrests happened on August 18th, before Ron DeSantis called a news conference to tout this crackdown on alleged voter fraud that were carried out by state police officers accompanied by local law enforcement. This apparent never before seen footage obtained by the Times and the Times and Herald through public records requests offers what they say a personal glimpse of the effects of DeSantis's efforts to root out perceived voter fraud. Of the 19 people arrested, now there are 19 people arrested, 12 are registered as Democrats and at least 13 are black. Now, the particular individual that you saw right there, sex offender. Now, I think it's interesting to note here because I read through the story in the report. These are people who registered to vote when they weren't supposed to vote. And there was a specific, they actually have to do eligibility checks. Like the Department of State has to do eligibility checks to actually see if the people who are registered to vote are actually allowed to vote. And if they aren't allowed to vote, then they clear them off the rolls. Apparently that didn't happen for at least these 19 people. And so now they're actually being, they're arrested. We don't know if they're actually going to be prosecuted. But in previous cases, there have been prosecutors who failed to bring up charges, or at least they declined to bring up charges against, at least in Lake County this year, they declined to bring charges against 6 convicted sex offenders who voted in 2020. Now, does this, Jay, I want to get your thoughts on this because this is something that actually sheds quite a negative light on Ron DeSantis if you think about it, or at least that's what the intended effect is. Maybe it's done with the intention of trying to make him look bad before the actual 2022 gubernatorial election in Florida. I think there are a lot of people who look at this and say, well, those people shouldn't be voting anyways. Maybe they're misinformed. Should they actually be prosecuted? Probably not. What do you think?
No, I don't think they should be at all. I think this is a failure on Ron DeSantis for sure. I think this action that they're taking is way over the top, especially if they're only voting for themselves. This should have been caught by government officials. This should not have gone all the way to here to this extent. It's not like they were purposely doing voter fraud or knowingly doing voter fraud. Some of these people had no fucking idea that's what had no idea that was illegal or something that they shouldn't have done. What needs to be done is the people in government need to be held accountable for their failures.
Yeah, so there's the key right there, and I think there's something that needs to, I think if anything, we implore at least local law, state law enforcement, local law enforcement to not, or at least state prosecutors to not prosecute these individuals, especially because it's, from what I have seen, it doesn't seem like there was any malicious intent here by these people who are voting. I think they're purely just, they were misinformed. For a lot of them said, a lot of them were told that they can vote or that they can go ahead and register to vote. It's not like they went out of their way to go register to vote. A lot of people told them, like, hey, why don't you register to vote? Someone was told at the DMV. So another person was told that, like, this is a suggestion of a friend to go register to vote. So I don't think that there's any like malice here. There's no like malicious intent to try to, like, you know, overturn an election. I think it's interesting, though, that the strategy here, at least at the timing of this release of the story, is specifically designed to try to hurt Ron DeSantis's standing. And I think criticism is warranted here because if he's on if he's at a news conference touting about this particular crackdown, what did he know, and when did he know it?
No, absolutely.
I'm hoping we get some answers here.
Yeah, because
but also here, this is also interesting because and I was just going to note here because I know that Tampa Bay Times noted that specifically that 13 of the 19 people who were arrested are black. Well, that kind of makes sense considering how black people are disproportionately go to prison more than any other race. And you can just look at how, like, they're affected negatively by law enforcement, or at least their communities are policed more heavily than others. I don't know if that particular line was specifically trying to make Ron DeSantis look racist, or the other possibility being that maybe, and I don't know how many people actually committed voter fraud in 2020 in the state of Florida. They only got 19. As far as we know, could have been way more. But they only targeted these 19 individuals. I don't know. It's a messy situation. And honestly, Rory Metzger says it perfectly. Government bureaucracy at its finest. That,
exactly right.
Honestly, Jay, this is probably what happens when you work in the purple, when you live in the purple state, because Florida, obviously being a purple state, I'm sure there are, people who would love to just, eat Ron DeSantis's ass. I mean, lunch.
Right. But it's also a really bad light on him because, like you were saying before, when he's having the press conferences praising these policies that were in place and the crackdown on this, he's totally okay with it. Instead
I'd at least like to give the benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
Unless he comes out and he actually pardons these people and he doesn't allow
they haven't been convicted of anything. Well, they haven't even been charged yet, or at least
which is
great,
far as but he needs to come out. He still needs to come out and say that there's more work to be done for us to be able to really crack down on actual voter fraud and things that will really harm the integrity of elections. And one way to do that is to make sure you do your fucking job in the government. Governments never do their fucking job. And at the end of the day, it's people who are the ones who have to pay the price for their negligence. And these guys they're already going through hell. And some of them maybe rightfully, and some of them maybe not, because we have wrongful convictions all the time that happen to people. And this is just adding more to their fucking misery for no fucking reason whatsoever. None. It's like going after a drug dealer because he sold some pot and stuff, and now he has a felony charge against him, and he went to vote, and then they go and destroy his life even more. Like, there are certain aspects of these things that are just there in order to just make your life fucking miserable. And that is why it is always good to say that no matter who's in government, government is not your friend. Almost
Government's
doesn't
not your
matter who
friend.
the fuck is in government. They're not your friend.
I don't
Anyone
care.
who goes up and says that they want to reduce the power of government and actually gets it done, that's a different story. But once government gets power, once they put up these bureaucratic, stupid fucking policies and in departments and shit, they never go away, and they're just here to make your life fucking miserable.
I think it's honestly it's good to have a healthy distrust of government just in general, because honestly, I don't know if this has been employed by corporate media to try to paint voter fraud as, this is like, if we look at like the 2020 election compared to like what we know about it now, I don't know if this is specifically designed to try to paint the entire the election integrity effort in 2020 as some sort of, oh, it was all convicted murderers and sex offenders who were voting in the 2020 election. And it just so happened that in Florida, which went for Trump, it didn't make that much of a difference anyway. So they kind of like dismisses, like the strategy is to try to dismiss other states for having, they may have had the same situation, right?
No, I get that, but this is a shot in their own foot. Like, if you're really caring about voter integrity and all of that kind of stuff, this isn't the way to do it. This is showcasing the policies you wanted to put in place and not following through with them. This is not showing anything else. They put those policies in place to make sure these people cannot vote, and then they didn't follow through with it, and they voted, and now they're going after the people who voted. That makes no sense. It makes zero sense for them to be able to do it that way.
Read a few super chat here. Casey, thank you for the super chat. Says, I think you're both funny, so here you go. You misspelled here, Habibi.
Maybe he has the Fetterman.
The
Fetterman,
point.
yeah.
I respect it, Casey. Good touch. Prison Mitch says, Jay better not say gay next time he's in Florida. Well, Jay and I know that it's not gay if you beat him up afterwards, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not gay if you don't swallow, right, Jay?
Yeah, but then where's the fun in it? It's like a reward. Of course you want to swallow.
It's not gay if you come on his back. Rory Metzger says Featherman's doctor about as useful as Miami Dolphins team doctors. Oh, so there was someone, I think it was, because I saw this on Tucker earlier. Tucker had this monologue on Tiffany Cross from MSNBC, and Joy Reid as well. But Tiffany Cross was saying something along the lines of how, like, the reason why Tua Tagovailoa, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name, but Tua, the Miami Dolphins quarterback, and him having a concussion, the reason why his concussion was so bad and so severe and that he's been sidelined for so long is simply because these white NFL owners not respecting black bodies. That was not a direct quote, but that is like the synthesis of what she said.
Yeah, because the NFL owners are like masters of the slave trade.
Yeah,
and all NFL players are just modern day slaves.
That's exactly and now we got to worry about the NHL being too white, because the NHL did a report or study that found that 84% of its workforce is actually white. Did you know this, Jay? I had no idea that.
What?
I had no idea how white the NHL was this entire time. I was thinking
zero idea, none. I went to a Kings game the other day, and honestly, I saw no color there because there weren't any. There was like zero color there.
Yeah, white is the absence of color, right, Jay?
It's so fucking hilarious to see these people try to force, like, it's the same thing they do with women who are not in the STEM field. It's the same thing with all this type of stuff. There's no interest for it. What are we gonna do? Force black people to enjoy hockey and then go work in hockey organizations?
Do they not realize like how expensive hockey is as just like to get? Like there's so many moving parts in addition to like just the level of coordination, hand-eye coordination, being able to skate, having access to a skating rink, having access to ice skates and all the equipment that comes with hockey. It is arguably one of the most expensive sports to play.
How many black people live in Minnesota?
They're all Somalian. In fact, we're fielding an only Somalian Minnesota hockey club.
Jamaica hockey team. Let's get it done. New Disney idea.
New day. Oh God, that's
the mighty Jamaicans.
Man. The mighty Somalians. Yeah, nothing. I can't do it, Jay. It's too much. The NHL having a diversity problem, that is that's something we need to be focusing on. That's NHL is all about diversity and inclusion. I read somewhere this past like last day about the Pentagon equity. There's a Pentagon equity chief. Why do we have equity chiefs in anything, let alone the Pentagon? It's literally the meme of like I hear the son telling his mother in the Middle East while a drone strike is approaching that I heard the next drone strike is going to be carried out by a woman. Makes you feel like
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
No, and these. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, what point is it to have diversity or like diversity places, like in the military and all that kind of stuff? Do you want races to die equally on endless wars and useless wars? Like these type of like the ideology that they have that everything needs to be equal, it just makes zero sense. There's different people like different things, or different people have different abilities than others. Like it's not going to always be a 50-50 fucking level playing field. This is what life is. It's never going to be 50-50 on any field.
There's never going to be homogeneity. There's never going to be homogeneity. Never. Great Doomer on Rumble. Except that Great Doomer on Rumble says the Somali slap shots. The Somali slap shots. I love that. It's good. Spencer, our producer, says the top 10 world hockey teams are from countries that are predominantly white. Casey, thank you for the super chat. Says I do have the Fetterman. That's why he wrote here HEAR instead of here HERE. Hakirat says, how about them Red Sox? Well, Hakirat, how about them Blue Jays? They won the exact same amount of playoff games as the Red Sox this year.
I have no idea because baseball is shit.
Because it's 0, Jay. The Blue Jays won just as many playoff games as the Red Sox this year.
I would not have known that. Rory coming in saying most hockey players are from the northern U.S., Canada, or Russia, Eastern Europe. Can't for the life of me figure out why it's such a white sport.
Well, even if people of color decided they were just going to move up north and just start playing hockey, you think people would deny them?
Absolutely fucking not. Nobody would deny. Or if black people are Arabs or fucking Latinos, there's how many Latino players are there in the NFL?
How many Arabs? There's look.
How many Arabs?
The Colorado Avalanche won the Stanley Cup, and everyone was celebrating their sole Muslim player because that was like the first time a Muslim had ever won a Stanley Cup.
How long did he play? What was his hours of playing? Arabs who like cold and ice and stuff are a rarity, a fucking rarity.
I think he was a Canadian whose parents immigrated, I think, from like Syria or something like that. But even then, Syrians are white as shit.
No, they are. So are Lebanese and Palestinians too.
Carl says it was Kadri. I think he's like half Canadian. Yeah, I think he's a Syrian. Nazem Kadri. He's from Canada, but his parents are from. He's the first. Yeah, 2022. It literally says first Muslim player to hoist the Stanley Cup. That's never happened before. Hoist it, moist. Hoist. But yes, his grandparents are from Lebanon, so he's one of yours, Jay. He's one of your people.
Oh yeah, Lebanese. Hey, look at you. More power to the Lebanese. Look at that.
Shut the fuck up, Jay.
Well, I mean, Lebanese. There's a lot of Lebanese in.
I would become Jay if he were Pakistani. Become gay for him. Okay.
You know what's really funny? What I don't understand. Why is there not a more Indian and Pakistani population that play baseball?
Why isn't there more? Look, they're in India and Pakistan. They play field hockey. Like men play field hockey,
and we don't see them anywhere. Is there a huge like boom of college players who are Indian and Pakistani?
They are playing field hockey.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean,
I don't know.
Is it a national sport as well? Is there
field hockey? Field hockey is huge. Field hockey is huge in Pakistan. It's like second or third.
No, I'm talking about
cricket.
here in the United States.
Field hockey.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a.
That's an Olympics. I think it's an Olympic sport.
Mm.
Wow, Casey really doling it out tonight, saying, "Can you get in touch with Rakita Law? I think he would be great on your show and his show. Inshallah, we'll try to get Rakita. Nick, you know Nick Rakita?
I don't.
Nick Rakita. He's an attorney, actually, oddly enough, in Minnesota. So maybe he could actually help organize this Somali Slapshots, the all Somali hockey team in Minnesota.
Honestly, we should pitch this as a Disney film idea because we don't. What was that?
Dude, it's probably only
movie?
Jay. It's probably only going to make Disney Plus, and at that point, is it even really worth it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not much going on Disney Plus.
No, it's all been going downhill like really quick and really bad, really bad.
I don't even open it up.
Was garbage.
Which one?
Was really She-Hulk was garbage.
Oh, you watched the whole thing?
Yeah, it was excruciating.
How was the twerking with Megan Thee Stallion? Like this?
No, that's better, and that's without CGI too.
Did it move a little, Jay? Did it move?
No, it was like a CGI fucking block
I meant,
going up and down.
No, I meant did it do anything for you?
Oh, that right now? What you just did? Of course.
Yes.
I creamed my jeans twice.
Excellent.
Every twerk I creamed.
So I actually did we get anything? Oh, we got a couple more stories, and then I got a very special guest for you tonight because Jay, it's gonna be I'm already feeling it. I've been drinking very little, and I'm already feeling it pretty heavily. I haven't eaten a whole lot today. Kanye West, he did an appearance on Drink Champs, and I don't know what to really say about it because Jay, every time I report about Kanye West, I get part of me dies a little, just a little, because I wish I had a phone to call him. I mean, I do have a phone, but I wish I had his number to call him and just tell him, easy, just shut the fuck up. So stop what you're doing, please, for the love of God. Let's just watch this real quick. Maybe if it'll load. Is this boomerang now? Do I have to take
it? Is it's not buffering, it's boomerang.
If I had to take a drink because it's boomerang, you have to do the same, Jay.
I mean, I finished my vodka drink.
That was a vodka drink.
Matter tees.
Okay, let's try that again.
We made the White Lives Matter tees, and then when I put up the tweet, the DEFCON tweet, he ain't releasing the tee because he's Jewish. And I'm like, see, this is my exact point that I'm making. Like, Jewish people have owned the Black voice, whether it's through us wearing a Ralph Lauren shirt, or it's all of us being signed to a record label, or having a Jewish manager, or being signed to a Jewish basketball team, or doing a movie on a Jewish platform like Disney. And we understand it's like, I respect what the Jewish people have done and how they brought their people together. They came into money through the lawyers when after Wall Street, when all of the like the Catholics, they wouldn't divorce people. Right. So the Jewish lawyers came and they were willing to divorce people. That's when they first came into their money. So like, say with me and Jay, with our culture, with the with the darker Jews. First of all, because you got
This happens when anybody starts talking deep.
Okay. Yeah, with the darker Jews, the 12 lost tribes of Israel, who we are, because we Jewish also. We from Africa also. We're the blood of Christ. So we're not just black. We are Jew, just like the Jewish people. And now we're coming into money. But the main thing is I got to drink the Douce over the Hennessy as the first step to us coming together, like how the Jewish people came together. But we couldn't even talk about, I remember Ben Horowitz called me after 444 and said, I don't know about Jay giving up Jewish business secrets. And these secrets.
We was talking about building up the properties and stuff like that.
Yeah,
on 444.
These secrets they not finna be a secret no more. Like if somebody tells me something, it's like, yo, I want.
What the fuck, Kanye? What are you doing? Everything has to be about Jews with him, with this guy.
Well, that was, I mean,
it's almost like he has it's almost like he has a conspiracy against Jews, Jay.
Almost like it.
Almost. I think he does a little bit.
The more he talks about it, the more insane he starts sounding. And it's fucking crazy. It's just fucking crazy. The whole thing is, this is like We Was Kings type of talking. We Was Kings. That's what it is. That's exactly, we are also Jewish. Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to go to the lineage all the way back to the first person who was born from a fucking monkey, yeah, we're all the fucking same. Good
Jay,
shit, Kanye.
Also, not to mention the fact that we're all Muslim. All of us. All of us are slaves.
Yes.
All of us are slaves to God.
That's what it is. Hey, we know what it's like to be a slave.
You guys can make fun of you all can make fun of Muslims as much as we do because you're also Muslim too.
Yeah, that you can do it. Anyone and everyone can have a shit on Muslim Day, but I mean he is really off of his rocker. I mean he is going straight off the deep end. This is insane fucking conspiracy theories that he's pushing on millions and millions of people that follow him. He has a huge platform, and to watch people like Ben Shapiro completely try to skirt by all of this type of shit and then still say that Candace Owen defending him and blah, 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 and all this stuff. I mean, it completely dampers anything he ever wants to say against Ilhan Omar or fucking Tlaib or anyone else that makes anti-Semitic statements. Because this is so far beyond it's all about the Benjamins. This is so far beyond any of those type of statements that were made by I just wish that Kanye I just wish Kanye would offer like a little bit more clarity on his wild thoughts, just because he's trying to. What are you talking about clarity on it? Like what he is completely fucking explaining how crazy he is. There. There's no clarity to be had.
Jay, I wish you would offer some clarity about how crazy he is.
I think it's pretty clear. We don't need.
I just need a little bit more
clarity. He doesn't have the ability.
Jay, I just need to know if it's like the bipolar disorder talking. If it's like these are his true thoughts.
It's probably his true thoughts. I mean, it's so far beyond anything to be able to try and defend or even try to explain or cover for or anything. All of these things need to be fucking denied and what's it called? Really harshly spoke against. This is absolutely running on territory that is very harmful to the Jewish community. And this is the type of stuff that has more of the Black community up in rage and just openly attacking Jews in New York and California, everywhere where they're openly Jewish, they get attacked because of the shit that people are saying, like what Kanye West is saying and the conspiracy theories that they push.
Baby says, once again, I think we just need to appreciate that Kanye's anti-Semitic rants were triggered by his perceived disses from two banks, neither of which is run by a Jew. One thing...
that's true, too.
So the whole thing about that was that JP Morgan Chase Bank cut ties with Kanye and his clothing brand. Yeezy, because of his controversies, specifically with obviously ranting on about Jews, and then of course his White Lives Matter T-shirt. Now, what's it called? As far as I know, Adidas hasn't said or done anything about cutting their ties with Kanye over his Yeezy brand, probably because they make too much fucking money off of that. But I noticed that there were some folks on like the intellectual dark web saying that Kanye getting his, JP Morgan Chase cutting ties with Kanye West over his comments, but not with Jeffrey Epstein after he was convicted of I think it was his 2008 conviction of soliciting sex with an underage prostitute. That's a pretty bad look on you, JP Morgan Chase.
Right. Well, Epstein was a Jew, so they're just looking after each other.
And also Faye makes a good point here that the banks cut him off before the anti-Semitic rants. So yes, that's obviously a key distinction. That's what I probably didn't say that, but whatever. Oh, whatever. So there's that with Kanye. Did we get everything? Oh yeah, and he's gonna buy Parler of all things.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that's actually going to go through. I feel like just because you can buy a social media company doesn't mean you should.
No.
Although if I could, Jay, what?
No, I mean Elon Musk is doing it.
Right, everyone's buying their own social media company. Trump's got one. Elon's got one. Kanye's about to get one. Jay, which one should we buy, or should we start our own? You know what? We'll just make Locals our social media company. We'll buy Locals.
Inshallah, someday.
Inshallah, I'll save up enough money.
Habibis, if you want to buy Locals, make sure to subscribe and support us. And then the only thing you can post, like you can't even post a normal message. You'll only have 4 pictures you can post, and it's all of us shirtless.
Speaking of which.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh, come on, bud. Yeah, I got to put him down. Okay. Looking much better. Come here, bud. Oh. Good boy.
Good boy.
The final thing that we wanted to talk about this evening was that there's a CDC panel that's actually voting to recommend vaccines for the CDC schedule, particularly COVID-19, the COVID-19 vaccine. It's the Center for Disease Control's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices. They met today. They're going to meet on Thursday as well to discuss and vote on whether or not to recommend the COVID-19 vaccine, as well as a number of others, and whether or not it should be included in a federally funded program that helps children of low-income parents receive recommended vaccines on schedule. But here's the real kicker here, Jay. The whole idea is adding the recommended vaccine to the U.S. adult and child immunization schedules, meaning that for a lot of children who go to public schools, if they have to, a lot of them are going to have to get the vaccine in order to even go to school, public school. That's where we are now, Jay.
Where we are now are these politicians. It's fucking hilarious. The politicians just 3 years ago, before COVID even happened, were absolutely up in arms against the pharmaceutical companies making too much money. And now they are sanctioning your tax dollars to make sure that they make billions of dollars.
I feel like we owe an apology to Martin. Oh, you know what? I have a feeling. I think I know why why the feds went after Martin Shkreli. Farmer Bro.
Oh, wow.
It was because he basically flaunted his ways of manipulating drug prices to his own benefit and basically exposed the secret of basically every pharmaceutical company.
It's probably what it was.
And they were like, "What are you doing? This is how we make our money." What the, Martin? Shut the fuck up. We're indicting you. And
That's
they
what
just
happened.
threw him in jail. But no, they're gonna try to give kids the vaccine, and it hasn't even been fully.
I mean, they just came
there
out
aren't any. Well,
they
there are no
just came
clinical
out the other
studies on it.
day saying that there was no studies on whether or not it can stop transmission and shit. They don't even fucking know the full extent of it actually stopping transmission. And the thing is that those lies need to be, and those people who push those lies, who forced the businesses to close down and the economy to go into shit like it is now, need to be held accountable for this shit. But nobody is going to be held accountable for it.
No one,
Fauci
zero.
should die in prison. That's where he should die. The last of his days should be in prison.
Crazy shit. All right, we're 69 minutes into the stream. Let's go ahead and take some questions for our favorite segment, Ask Us Anything. So Habibi's Ask Us Anything. If you are in the local chat, hit us up. I'll read your questions immediately. If you support us on locals, and I have a firm recollection that you do, I will read your comment on Rumble or YouTube. But it's purely based on my recollection. So I'm literally trying to remember if you support us on locals. If you do, I'm reading that comment, regardless of if it's a super chat or not. Sorry, you're gonna have to rely on this brain. That's tough titties for you. Zem says,
are you talking about here on YouTube, or are you talking about Rumble is so far off?
I have no idea.
I think timing on Rumble is probably off.
Super Chuck says, have kids in homeschool. Nate Beebe says, when will you invite Aisha Hasni on the show? If you can get us in touch with her, we will gladly take her out to dinner and never call her again.
Based. Hey, have you seen have you gotten a response from Shadi or
Shadi? Yeah. He's gonna send us digital copies, or I think he already did, of his book. Yeah.
That would be exciting, guess that.
Akira says, did Siraj just you people the Habibis?
Yeah.
What did I do? What did I say, Jay? I can't remember.
Chris. Well, first of all,
hold on, Jay. You got to read the question.
Sorry, Chris Duke on YouTube. And my question for Jay is, where is my wife?
Where is she, Jay? What'd you do? What did you do with her, Jay? Answer me.
I don't know, but I hope you can fuck her, get her off my back. I mean, I had one night with her, and all she does is fucking call me at home, call me at work, ask me when I'm gonna bend her over again, and I cannot have this. I told her, I put the parameters on what was gonna happen. It was a one night thing. That was it. And then I rocked the fuck out of her world, and she would not get off my back now. So I have no idea where she is. I blocked her like three months ago.
Is his wife David Duke?
Oh, David Duke.
Lore Master says, when are you getting matching Mario and Luigi outfits for the show? Inshallah,
we should get red and green turbans.
Oh, Jay, in this situation, since you're 4'9", you have to be Mario, and I'm the little brother, so I always have to be Luigi.
There we go. And it's 5'4", you piece of shit.
No, I'm pretty sure you're 4'9". At least I measured you when you're giving me a sloppy toppy.
Well, it's because it's so small. I have to really get in there.
Is there any stories we missed this week? Anything? Any questions that the Habibis have? I'm gonna go back to the local chat because I'm not even. No one's even. Oh, you fucking bitches! No one's even on there. Everyone's on all the other platforms. Spencer, our producer, says, "Does that make me Waluigi and Ben It's Wario. God, you're fucking fired.
Yeah, Warrior instead of Wario. God, another boomer moment.
Can't believe this.
No, not at all.
Man. We were gonna do a stream last on Sunday, but I ended up having to go to Fort Myers for some hurricane stuff. I could probably give you more details about it another time because I'm just way too wiped right now. But basically, what I will tell you is that don't forget about the people who have been devastated by Hurricane Ian, because when I was down there, man, I have never seen desperation, I've never seen devastation like that. It was just on a whole other level. I sent you some photos, right, Jay?
Yes, you have. It's absolutely insane. Like
I hope people don't forget about
crazy.
Southwest Florida. It's terrible. And I know that we're both shirtless right now, and we don't like to talk about serious stuff when we're shirtless.
Right.
But it just came to mind that there are people who are still struggling, some more than others, and I hope we all just I want all of us to be good to each other, and treat each other the way you want to be treated, and just recognize that at the end of the day, all this bullshit doesn't matter. What matters are the people that make you feel good about yourself. So Jay, just want to say I love you. Spencer, I fucking hate you, but I love you. Ben, also hate you, but love you. All the Habibis, love you guys. Thank you all for the support. And now we're getting into like the sappy drunk Siraj.
You had one fucking drink. You had one drink.
Jay, but I had nothing to eat. Oh God, man.
All right,
Habibis. Well, I will say this, because Josh says, guess that means DeSantis did well. I will say this, DeSantis actually did really well, because the entire time I was there, he had the what's it called, the cell towers already operational. They have mobilized so many, Florida Power, Light, all the services that they could get out there, they did. There was no question about resources that were dispatched by Governor DeSantis. So everything I'm seeing right now is based on like the actual recovery effort. That's going to take some time, because when I saw the devastation, that's like, there are houses that were just completely rocked off their foundation. And it is, people, obviously I when I went down there were people who were, I did see those signs of like, looters are going to get shot, that kind of thing. And the entire time I'm thinking, it's at least there was a lot of security out there. There are a lot of police officers, a lot of law enforcement present, because basically in situations like that, it is what is it? Every man for himself, right?
Yeah.
So I was at least encouraged by a few things. The people's spirit down there, they definitely had a lot of spirit. But I hope next week I'll be able to share a little bit of footage, some images of what I saw down at Fort Myers. I just don't have the energy, Jay. I'm so tired. And then Nate Beebe says, are we keeping Siraj awake? Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. It's time for me to go to bed. Ernie's already asleep, okay?
It's time. Yeah, and it's time for me to hit the gym.
Yeah, you gotta get ripped, Jay. You gotta get ripped.
Gotta get
ripped.
ripped.
Let's see you. No, yeah, they BB in the shot for that. Now you can get a shot of that. We actually have been going to the gym, right, Jay? I'm not just.
Oh yeah, we have been.
So you get that nice little flex. Oh, Spencer's taking his shirt off too. Look at that bitch. Say hello, Spencer, even though you're muted. He's just
He's still muted.
Sad. That's so sad. What's good, everyone? How are we doing?
We're good. We're good. Anything else? Any last things, Jay?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, good. Well, Habibis, as always, if you really want to hit that, if you really like us, hit that like and subscribe button. Obviously, go check us out on our locals.
You're so enthused. I love it.
I'm so enthused, Jay, because I'm down. I really need to go to bed, Jay.
Yeah, you do. I can see it. Did you?
Okay,
what happened? Did you wake up at 10:30 today? Way too early.
It was way too early for me.
Thinking about it, was more like 11:45, but it was early.
Oh, that's early shit. That's early as shit for me.
All
right, Habibis, for the Habibi Bros, I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Jay Kobbe.
And we'll see you next time on Habibi Power Hour. Peace and mess.